that's about 45 bicycles from some bicycle collection, and Eagle Scouts collect bikes for us, and Rotary clubs. The Isthmus Earth Day in Madison. After a shipping party, we have 13 such shipping parties every year. It's not really a party. This is the, you get dirty, tired, and cut up. But this is the Bloomington, the Indiana University Foundation. You know, they put on the little 500, famous in breaking away. They come up and volunteer. They help us fix bikes. Our rain barrel again. Kids powering lights at the Green Festival. Kids powering everything. This is at the Museum of Science and Industry. We've got a rowing, this is a rowing motion, so you don't destroy the boat. It's just a bench with a wheel between two by fours. Maybe get a better picture. Museum of Science and Industry. Yeah, so it's like a rowing motion made out of $5 worth of lumber and a bike wheel. So you roll forward, the wheel spins, and an inner tube pulls the chain back so you can row again. So you don't have to give your bicycle to make a bike machine. This is just one wheel. How do you make the dynamo that comes with many bicycles? How to make it charge your cell phone. This is a circuit, and it's explained on our website it's do it yourself, right? How do you make your little bottle dynamo that many bikes come with, or you can order one too. How to make a bottle dynamo power your cell phone or smartphone. Okay, here's the rowing machine, right? So this is you can't see that. Inner tube and a roller over there. So pull the paddle, pull the oar, and the wheel spins, the belt turns the motor, the generator, and the inner tube pulls the chain back when you're ready to row it again. Nordic track that's been converted to power appliances. Very useful. Everybody should. So if you see a Nordic track thrown away, grab it, because those things they're artwork. You know, they cost like $450 new. You can pick them up for $20. So you can see there's already that flywheel under there. So you can put a belt around the flywheel and run a motor off of it. Here's the rowing machine made into a pump using a pump from a washing machine. And this is so that whole thing is like $30, and you made something that actually accomplishes something useful. So it's a washing machine pump, the belt, and the beauty is the belt stays on the wheel because it climbs to the center. Apparently they've known this about belts forever. The belt will climb to the highest point on the wheel so it won't slip off. This is just the circuit. It's exhibited outside, how you convert DC to alternating current using a computer power supply and an inverter, a little inverter. Here's the rowing machine again. So, I don't know how we're doing for time, but if I urge everybody to go over and to visit our project. We're at 2434 Southwestern. Has anybody not been there? No. Nobody's not been there? Oh, it's great, it's a museum. Yeah, it's full. So, the reason, and I'm hoping that people in this room bikes. We essentially get 10 times more bicycles donated than we can fix, right? So that's where that's why we're essentially outsourcing the work and sending the bikes to developing countries, because they have ongoing bike projects in these countries. The best organized ones are, we stick with year after year. We coordinate there are other groups that are doing the same thing. There's Bikes for the World. We all share partners. Bikes for the World, Bikes Not Bombs is in, like I said, Bikes Not Bombs is in Massachusetts. Bikes for the World is in Northern Virginia, Fairfax County. Pedals for Progress is probably the biggest, and they've been doing it for a long time. Village Bicycle Project, they're in Idaho. So there are other groups that are doing similar things. So the idea is to take what's being discarded in the first world and get it into the hands of people that can use it. Bicycles are just a miracle invention, as was mentioned earlier. It's like you can have something that weighs as little as 20 pounds and it can carry somebody like me, right? So it can carry 10 times its weight, compared to a car, which can carry about, a third of its weight. And a pickup truck can carry about a half of its weight. So, any questions so far? Sir?
Do you sell these machines?
I give them away to teachers and stuff, educators, right? Because there are people that are running businesses. There is you can see these at fairs where they teach you about watts and energy, but they're expensive. So we usually, if we find an educator that's going to use it, we usually just give it to them. I mean, they're not that expensive. The generator is probably like around $50, and the Schwinn exercise bike is probably about $40. You can see them on Craigslist. And they're the best because they got this huge chain ring, so you get a high RPM at the shaft. But they're great because the kids love them. I mean, the kids jump on, and the parents take the picture of their kids doing exercise, and it's a good segue where you can get the kids interested in going to engineering school someday, or maybe even riding a bike. We like it because it's physics and fitness. You can talk about how many calories you're using to generate how many watts. So it's a lot of fun. But teachers, it has to be ready. They do not have time to make these things themselves, right? So it's something we essentially just hand off to them if they're going to use it. Like we have them in various middle schools and high schools around the Chicago area. Because we used to just say, this is how you do it, we've got it on the website, but it's just, teachers have no time. They're under a lot of pressure. They get blamed for all kinds of...
How do you put your funding together?
We sell bikes. Yeah, we're just... No, we get anonymous stuff. We haven't done grants, right? But we get maybe 5% of our money is donations. It was kind of, we had to try to have a fundraiser, but we were closed down the other day. It was kind of embarrassing. It was, we didn't do the right paperwork in advance, but we don't, people give us $1,000 bikes.
And how do you pay for them?
Well, people give us $1,000 bikes.
Right.
We don't ship them.
Yeah, right.
But the donors are fine with it. If somebody comes in, they give you $1,000, you tell them right there, this bike will probably not get shipped. It's not that we're not sending them, we're sending them useful bikes. They don't want carbon fiber bikes, they don't want titanium bikes. They don't want fragile bikes, they don't want road bikes. They don't like drop handlebars. They want comfortable, they're accustomed. I don't know if you've seen it, but they're accustomed to this bike. You see them all the time in the New York Times. You see the Taliban riding them. You see everybody, the Vietnamese riding. It's a heavy bicycle, weighs 60 pounds. They're all black. They got 2 bars along the top 2. So the bikes that they're accustomed to are just these heavy, cumbersome bikes. So they really, we get wonderful feedback. They love our bikes because they're pretty. They got useless things like shock absorbers, and they don't mind maintaining them. They got bikes they're accustomed to have rods. They don't have cables. They got rods for the brakes, and they're one speed. So a transmission is a beautiful thing. You know, a derailleur or a 3-speed, they love the cruisers. So the feedback we get, I mean, they're not great riders, you know. They don't give us a whole lot of feedback. I suppose it should be a goal of ours to visit our projects, but we haven't. We do get some feedback, and it's positive. They say they can get 95% of the bikes working that we send them. But working is a relative term. I mean, they don't, you know, they convert them, some of them into single speeds. Not single speed like fixed gear. They convert them, they just use the derailleur just as a tension mechanism to keep the chain tight. So the idea is that there's so much stuff that's being set aside. This would work for sewing machines or anything. You could have sewing projects in developing countries. You could have the bikes, the wheelchairs, because there's so much stuff that's discarded. You know, you could do these trash days where you just go around picking up wonderful things that there could be of use in developing countries or here. Right? And we have, we teach bike mechanics at our shop. We teach hundreds of mechanics every year. And we also have open shop where people can come in and learn how to use the tools, and it's like learn how to fix your own bike. So, so that's good as well.
You have a website that you could...
Yes, workingbikes.org. I don't know how to start over. Maybe it goes around in circles, no? Workingbikes.org, no space. Well, just pass these around. So,